there are that puts a man in the position where he starts to commit these crimes. All right, let's start off, Brother Josh. Read the first 3 paragraphs for me, sir, and then Brother Dwight will take over from there.
Falling Down is a 1993 crime drama film directed by Gerald Schumacher and written by Abby Rose Smith. The film stars Michael Douglas in the role of William Foster,
Yes.
a divorced and unemployed former defense engineer. The film centers on Foster as he goes on a violent rampage across the city of Los Angeles,
Yes.
trying to reach the house of his estranged ex-wife in time for his daughter's birthday party.
Okay.
Along the way, a series of encounters, both tribal and proactive, cause him to react with violence and make sardonic observations on life, poverty, the economy, and commercialism. Robert Duvall co-stars as Martin Pendergast, an agent LAP sergeant on the day of his retirement, who faces his own frustration even as he tracks down Foster.
Yes.
William Foster Douglas is recently divorcing his ex-wife Beth Hershey, has a restraining order to keep him away from her and their child Adele. In addition, he was recently laid off from his job.
Stop right there. Let's go back. Now we're going to paint the picture for you. We already said that a man's identity are wrapped around a few things. What was the first one we said?
Home.
No. What was the first one we said on the list? His job. So now, the man has lost his job.
Lost his wife.
Okay? He's lost his wife. We getting into it. Now, the list of things are starting to build now. Now, this man says he has lost a few things that where his identity is wrapped around is putting him into a position where he's no longer be thinking logically. He's going to be thinking about revenge and how he's going to win back his man card. Because now the man card has been revoked because the job has been taken away from him. Okay, it hasn't been violated, it's been taken. So now he feels less than a man. All right, read on, Brother Josh. We paint the picture.
He was recently laid off from his job.
Okay.
His frustration goes when his car air conditioning fails while he is stuck in traffic.
Okay, number 2. What did we talk about? What else is a man's identity wrapped around?
His car.
His car.
Right.
There it is. So we already got 3 things. We got his family, he got his job, and his vehicle. 3 things that have been, the car is failed out on it. It wasn't revoked, but it has been violated.
Right.
It's been violated because the car got down on it. Okay? Go ahead, Brother Josh.
He abandons his car and begins walking across Los Angeles
Yes.
to attend Adele's birthday party. At a convenience store, the Korean owner Chan refuses to give change for a telephone call.
Okay.
Foster begins ranting about the high prices. The owner grabs a baseball bat and demands Foster to leave.
Okay.
Foster takes the bat
Ah.
and destroys much of the merchandise before leaving. Shortly thereafter, while resting on a hill, he is accosted by 2 gang members who threaten him with a knife and demand his briefcase. Foster attacks them with the bat and takes their knife.
Okay, explain to me what happened right there, Brother Josh. Tell me what's going on.
So basically, Douglas went into the store to get some change so he could make a phone call to his wife. And then the store owner refuses to give him change, and so the store owner brings out a bat because he's threatened. And Foster takes the bat and begins destroying merchandise because of the high prices.
Why did he do that, sir?
Because he was ranting, because
Why?
the owner wouldn't give him money for a phone call.
So what led up to that?
The phone call.
No, what
No,
led,
the money.
What led up to him being, remember what we talked about in our meetings? When a man is pushed up against
Oh yeah,
the wall,
when we're pushed up against the wall, we come out swinging.
and what pushed him in that corner?
His,
He lost the job.
yeah, he lost his job,
His-
he's divorced,
And his car.
and his car, and his wife's got a protection order against him.
That's right. So all these things are starting to build up against him.
So
And that-
basically, when he was on the hill, taking a break, and two of the gang members come up to him and the man his briefcase, and Foster didn't give it to him. So one of the gang members pulled out a knife, and Foster beat the hell out of him with his bag.
Yeah. And that's because we as men, the only thing, when we got everything taken from us, the only thing we have left is pride, so we have to make a stand and protect it. And how we do that? We're gonna do that in violence with a gun or a weapon, any kind of weapon we're gonna do to protect it.
That's right.
All right?
I got another
Yes, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna wait till I get down on my
Okay,
statement.
okay.
Yeah, elaborate.
All right, brother Dwight, go to the next 3, sir.
Okay. The 2 gang members now in a car with 2 friends
Yes.
cruise the streets and find an apartment,
Mm-hmm.
or at least their own room that is closed off from others.
Yes.
And consider that suburban life is, in many ways, constructed upon the value of privacy while being surrounded by thousands of people.
Okay.
We can go from our home to our car in the garage to our office and back again without having much.
Mm-hmm.
If any contact with anyone else, this kind of privacy can be fatal, further ground for unchecked abuse behavior.
Okay, stop right there. What is being said right there? What violation is that, sir?
Basically, I guess it goes back to what I was about to say. It goes back to when a man is backed up against the wall, his job's being taken, revoked, his home,
Yes.
and his car. So
Yes.
now he's not mentally equipped to deal with certain
That's
things
right. That's
or
right.
encounterment that's going on with life. Now the
That's right.
small things that he used to bypass or
Yes.
was used to not paying much to.
There you go.
Now everything is triggered.
Yes, it makes it something it made me so minute. Now has exploded and it's so big now.
That's right.
He's everything is coming through him. He can see everything coming at him because now everything he's been revoked or he's been violated. That's the same thing when you go to if you ever anybody or you know have been in the criminal system.
Right.
If they don't go back to a court date or whatever, they do something they're supposed not to do on probation, they get violated and they go back to prison. Right or wrong? So that violation puts you in a state of mind, well, I got to protect it. That's why some people don't try, they go on the run. They run. And they be wonderful still because they don't want, even now they violated, they don't want to go back to their life because now they know they ain't going to have no rights whatsoever.
That's right.
All right. Go ahead, brother.
This kind of privacy, okay, sorry. They open fire in a driveway by
Yes.
shooting.
Yeah.
Hitting several bystanders but not crossing.
Right.
The driver loses control and crashes.
Yeah.
Foster picks up a gun, shoots the only surviving gang member in the leg, and leaves
Yes.
with their bastard weapon.
Yes. Yes.
At a fast food restaurant, Foster attempts to order breakfast, but they have switched it to the lunch menu. After an argument with the manager, Foster pulls a gun and accidentally fires into the ceiling.
Yes.
After trying to reassure the Price employees and customers, he orders lunch, but is annoyed when the burger looks nothing like the one showed on the menu.
Yes.
He leaves, tries to call Bell from a phone booth, then shoots the phone booth to pieces after being hassled by someone who's just trying to use the phone.
Yes. Yes.
Sergeant Martin, on duty on his last day before retirement, insisted on investigating the crime.
Yes.
Interviewed with the witness at each scene led the detective to realize that the same person may be responsible. Foster's defense vanity license plate proves that to be an important lead because the detective remembers being in the same traffic jam as Foster earlier that day.
Right.
The detective and his partner, Detective Torres, visit Foster's mother. They realize Foster is heading towards his former family's home in Vince, California, and rush to intercept him.
Yes. All right. So, what is being said, just those things that you just read, brother, and just wrap that up right there, and then we get Brother Josh to finish these out, and then we're going to go on.
So basically, this add to what I just said prior about once somebody is backed up against the wall, they already at this boiling point.
Yes.
Everything is going to add to the fire.
That's right. That's right.
And so now every encounterment, he just want at this point he want everything to go his way. And if he feel like that he's been threatened,
there you go.
He gonna do everything. So now
Yes.
that at one point he knew his burger would never look like on him. But now that he's frustrated and upset, he don't care because he goes back and say he's not logical thinking.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Brother Josh, finish. Let's go down. We don't have to go through all of them. Let's go to the last three, sir.
He encounters a road repair crew who aren't working.
Yes.
And accuses them of doing nothing, of doing unnecessary repairs to justify their budget.
Yes.
He pulls out the rocket launcher, but struggles to use it until a young boy explains how it works. Foster accidentally fires the launcher, blowing up the construction site.
Yes.
By the time Foster reaches Beth's house, she has already fled with the devil. He realizes they may have gone to nearby Venice Pier.
Yes.
But Pendergrass retorts her right before he can go after them.
Yes.
Foster shoots Torres, injuring her, and flees with Pendergrass in pursuit.
Yes.
At the end of the pier, Foster confronts his ex-wife and daughter.
Yes.
His daughters happen to see him, but his ex-wife is frightened. Pendergrass arrives and acknowledges Foster complains about being ill-treated by society, but doesn't accept that as an excuse for his rampage.
Yes.
Distracting Foster, Beth kicks the gun away as Pendergrass draws his revolver,
Right.
insisting that Foster give himself up. Foster pulls another gun, prompting Pendergrass to shoot him dead, before he can see that Foster's gun is only a water pistol.
Okay. So wrap it up right there. One of y'all, both of y'all can take a chance. Just give us a synopsis.
Everybody can see in Tyrone answer your question when he told you earlier. Why man commit mass murders or why them lead to suicide?
Yes.
And just by this stereo and by this format, this statement of this movie, what we've seen, this when a man's is committing mass murders or suicide, the question is not why is he doing it. The question is what happened to him.
That's right.
That led him to this point.
That's right.
Sometimes you have to dig deep into their past.
That's right.
To see what trigger, what things have he been holding in as a man that made him act out this
That's right. That's right. Powerful say. I can't say it no better, Brother White. Brother Josh, any closing remarks on what you out of that movie?
Out of the movie?
Out of what you read right there, sir.
Out of what I read? Basically, all he really wanted to do was see his daughter.
Right.
And Pendergrass thinks he has a real gun, so he does what a police officer is trained to do when they see a gun.
It's shoot. So, and that's what happens even in these mass murders is because usually not until lately over the last couple of years or so, the mass murders kill themselves. Right. Instead they commit suicide instead
they commit suicide by cop.
By cop, exactly. Exactly.
Which means they force the cop.
Exactly. So that's just the stage. Now we're gonna get into it, and I'm going to start this all. I usually don't say a whole lot, but I'm gonna start this off tonight. All right. The patterns in mass shootings. A look at patterns in the 70 mass shootings over the last 32 years. That's right. There has been 70 mass shootings over the last 32 years, and how they intersect with the social pressures of masculinity. Wow. The latest shootings tragedies has happened. We knew this. We talked about this a couple of weeks on our broadcast about Elliot Rodger, about, he wanted to take retribution against the girls that did not want to talk to him because he felt that he wasn't good enough for them, and he was going to take retribution and make them pay. So we heard about that's the most recent one we heard about. Now, as the shootings increase, the frequency grow in devastation. We are desperate and trying to figure out what's going on. Now, the first things that come in our mind, you always hear it on the news, and I always listen. I'm an avid fan of CNN News. I watch it every morning. Mental illness, that's the number one thing comes up. It must be something wrong. Was he on medication? Was he in a hospital? What's going on? But they missed the point. Just like you said, they missed the point. All right? It could be guns. Or alienation, meaning isolation. We're going to get into that because that's another thing that we're going to talk about. Or a culture of violence between men and women. We know we don't see a whole lot of women doing this. There are a few here and there, but mainly these mass murders are committed by men. And we're going to get deeper as we go in. Mother Jones, back in 2012, created a timeline that compelled mass shootings in the United States from 1982 to 2012. Since then, yes, a long time. Since then, there have been at least 8 mass shootings in 2013 and 2014. 8 mass shootings. This in 1 year. Wow. 1 year. That's a whole lot. Bringing in a total of at least 70. The criteria Mother Jones used to define mass shootings, at least 4 or more dead can be found here. Some similarities between the shooters are relatively common. Men were all but one of the shooters. There it is right there. Now, here's the kicker. Listen very, very carefully. You may disagree with me, but these are the facts. The majority were white men. white males. Average age, 35. The youngest was 11. The killers possessed a total of 143 guns between them, more than 3/4 of which were obtained legally. A majority were mentally troubled and showed signs beforehand. Okay, let's talk about this briefly. We just talked about, and we're gonna move on. How do you feel about that? And we're not here to point fingers at black, white, but the point of it is, and we're gonna get into the reason why this happens as we go along. Get into it. How do you feel about that, brother?
Being a white brother that I am,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
But also because I know why. Because white people, they don't know an African American's struggle.
That's right.
So, the African American people are more subject to go out, and they're better equipped to handle the situation.
Yeah.
But as a white person, we don't understand what a black person goes through.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm glad you said that, Brother John. And I'm not saying that there are not low-income white people either, but majority of the times they are middle class. Like, when that's what it says. That's the statistics say that there's usually middle class, and usually, like we said, that they are not used to that type of struggle. They're used to going to nice schools, having a nice homes and clothes or whatever they want, they got it. But then when they go through the depression, they go through things of that nature, or when their man card has been violated or revoked, oh man, it's on. Okay, it's on. So let's get into a little bit more of this, and as we get deeper, we're gonna get into there. But there is one pattern we need to look at together, and this is what we're talking about, and that is the pattern about the events in the shooters' lives that preceded the rampage. That's what you're talking about, Brother Dwight. We got to look back into their lives to see what was going on to bring this on. Maybe it may have took 15, 20, or 30 years for it to happen, because something had to trigger that for that to take place. It ain't just going to happen because you're not trained to be that way.
I just want to use the analogy that you always use for example. For women's conception, you can't. When a man want to have sex, we ready. Female, you have to turn on. They like oven. So same thing, like society with like criminologies, the people when they're trying to invest crime stuff like that, they have to think they have that mindset as well. They don't think he just came out of the blue and start shooting. No. Something led up to that boiling point.
That's right.
That's dropping the board to the same way it takes an oven to heat up. You have to dig. You have to go back as much as possible.
I like that analogy, Brother Dwight. Very, very, very good. In the majority of the cases, the catalyst for the shooting was something that threatened the what?
The man's identity.
There it is.
As a man.
Now, there's the key, viewers. The key to mass murders and why men commit it is because their identity has either been violated or something within that identity that we talked about earlier has been revoked from them that puts them into a position that's going to set them up to start killing because they have nothing else to fight for but their pride, and they got to prove, the only way they can prove they're a man is through what? Through violence. There it is. There it is. Absolutely right. All right. The main statistic is inarguable. 69 males to 1 female. Being a man is the single most common characteristic of every mass shooting in the past 32 years. You better listen to this very, very clearly, all right? Men are not inherently more violent, but most men do not become violent in their lifetimes for any reason. And while biology, strength, and testosterone can completely be discounted, I'll rather look at the pressures to conform to a certain type of masculinity. That's the problem. What is it called, Brother Josh? No, what is it called? We talked about?
The man body.
Here it is. Masculinity are strong. They're not being able to do so cause a person to break under pressure. That's what we just talked about. All right, Brother Josh, go into these first two. Read these first two for us, and we get Brother Dwight to go down to the first two right here, brother. The idea of going on a shooting rampage. Go ahead, brother.
The idea of men going on a shooting rampage because of the threats to their identity as men makes sense. One way to think about that idea is to look at the cases where women do kill multiple people.
Okay.
And the ones that make the news most often are the victim. Most often the victims are the women's own children.
Why?
Because she can't provide for them.
And she feels that they'll be in a better place, right?
In a better place.
That's right. That's right.
They are not counted as mass killers because the body count isn't high enough.
That's right.
But just like the breakdown in identity, that we see happening with men. When the thing that defines a woman's identity as a woman breaks down, being a good mother.
Yes.
She is, in the most extreme of cases, feel the need to kill the part of her
That's
that
right.
is causing her, that is causing the most pain.
Yes. It's not so much that the woman is feeling pain for the children. She feels sorry for them because she cannot provide for them. So it's causing her pain as a mother and a nurturer.